Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Immortal Dilbo, and this is Games You Might Have Missed, where I'm bringing you something great and I just let the gameplay do the talking. Today, we're checking out Tiny Glade, and to be honest, I vastly underestimated this one. I thought it was going to be incredibly shallow and very limited. My God, was I wrong. Its beauty really does lie in its simplicity. On the surface, it's shockingly tiny. As soon as you load in, there's basically one-page tutorial, an empty glade, and that's it. Crack on. No long drawn-out explanations or 3-hour tutorials. No systems being hidden from you. You're just in it and building immediately. If you're going in expecting huge, sprawling maps, a deep, intricate story, or really complex mechanics, this probably isn't going to be your thing. No harm, no foul. But if you're looking for a game that's designed purely around your creativity and just seeing what you can make within those limits, this absolutely is. Luckily for me, the learning curve is basically flat. We aren't still going to be learning it at 24 hours in, like we're playing Zoo Tycoon. You're not fighting mechanics. You're not constantly revisiting sections. You just start building and kind of fall into it. And visually, it is gorgeous. It's very cozy. It's very cottage-core. If you play Town to City, you'll spot the similarities straight away. For one simple reason, it's the same developer. Same as Town to City, you can expect soft lighting, warm colours, bright blue skies, and all the leaves blowing in the breeze. It's the sort of game you could stare at for hours without your eyes getting tired, which is good because you will be staring at it for hours. Though I'll admit I had a concern when I first started creating. My first worry was the map size. I mean, it's called Tiny Glade. Don't judge me. Either way, I was wrong. That concern vanished. Buildings aren't clunky or awkward. It's not like you're working with Fallout 4 building. Snapping is incredibly smooth, and you can fit way more into these spaces than you'd expect. Intersecting buildings together, so clipping is pretty much non-existent. That headache will never bother you. And my God, does it bother you in every other building game that I've ever played. On my very first build, I actually forced myself into a corner. I started a manor, realised I'd boxed myself in early, and then by the end struggled to fill the space I'd actually committed to, which ended up pushing me to something much more ambitious than I'd originally planned, so winner winner. Fundamentally though, I rarely fought the placement. The only real issue I had was when I got sloppy with paths and accidentally made doors and holes in my building, which is honestly more funny than it is annoying. What really surprised me though was the creative freedom you're given. I'm by no means Picasso. I'm the kind of guy to set out building a house on Minecraft and end up with a weird looking bench. I have ideas, don't get me wrong, but the execution isn't exactly my forte. And at first glance, it does look limited. 2 main building types, a wall, a fence, stairs. That's pretty much it. But no, that tiny selection hides a ridiculous amount of flexibility. You can snap structures together, pull roofs off to make battlements, raise them into spires that stretch into the sky, lift floors into balconies, turn stairs into bridges and ladders, and it all just works. You get different brick styles, different colors, different eras. You can look modern or you can look run down, and it's all wrapped up in a really clean, easily digestible hood, and it never overwhelms you. And it doesn't stop at the buildings. Windows snap and morph. Small windows become double windows, become bay windows, become floor level doors. Your lights, they come on at night. They're also fully customizable. Dim them, brighten them, change their color. Placing doors and windows spawn random decorations you can move where you want, and you can cycle through variations so you're not praying for the right one to appear. And once you've got what you want, you can just copy and paste it and recycle all over again. I will say, however, decoration variety is probably the one place I'd like to see expanded. What's here is versatile and it's charming. You know, the same decoration can fit so many different moods. It does the job beautifully. It just feels like there's room to grow, especially where garden items are concerned. A little hedge here and there certainly would not go amiss. And also, minor thing, the lanterns, absolutely my favourite part. Wall mounted, freestanding, lining paths. I don't care, don't know why. They just scratch an itch in my brain. I think it's because it takes me back to when I was a kid watching medieval Disney films with all the lanterns lining the streets, making them feel extra cozy. A random thing to pull out with everything that this game has to offer, I know, but that's my thing. You also have environmental tools, raising rolling hills, carving scenic lakes, creating gardens or unruly fields, throwing up trees to create enchanting forests or haunted woods, smoothing terrain or making it jagged and dramatic. It's all very tactile and all very forgiving. And that's the key word here, forgiving. Within an hour, I'd figured pretty much everything out. It's not that it's shallow, it's just intuitive. Mistakes don't feel costly. Undo exists, yeah, but honestly, you could just reshape your way out of problems in minutes. Everything is movable once you've built it. And within a cheeky 2 hours, I'd built a small manor with a marketplace and a garden, got a village, and a little witch's hut with ruins, all on different maps. And speaking of maps, there are 5 of them: summer, autumn, olden, flowery, and winter. Same building pieces, same decorations, but completely different mood, lighting, and atmosphere. And it matters more than you'd think. Some builds, they just belong on certain maps. My witch's hut, yeah, look perfect on the olden map. It would have felt wrong putting it anywhere else. If I'd have put it in the summer map, it just wouldn't have fit the vibe unless I made it nighttime. But even then, just the ambience is different. That choice alone adds far more personality than you would first suspect. And of course, last but not least, let's not forget the little critter friends dotted around the map. We've got little ducks that move in when you create a pond. You've got birds nesting in the trees, flying in and out of your buildings. And the sheep, my lord, the sheep, little fluffy balls of wool, tottering around, pulling out umbrellas if they happen to fall from a height and floating ever so gently to the ground. They're like a little bow tied on top of the game. It all just adds to the warmth that is Tiny Glade. And while I do absolutely love the critters and they add so much to the game, I do think it'd be interesting, purely as a personal thing, to maybe see tiny people at some point, just milling around, using what you've built, filling the space a bit more. Not because the game needs it, it really doesn't. I don't think Tiny Glade is worse off without them. It would just be a nice optional layer, something to bring a little extra life to the places you create and beef up the environment a bit. Regardless, this is one of those games that meets you wherever you're at, whether you're not the most creative type like me, or you're a seasoned vet of these games and you live for it. You can keep things simple and cozy, or you can go absolutely unhinged and build full on fantasy palaces. We've all seen those Minecraft videos where they strip out the floor and build a monument to the heavens. And honestly, the stuff some people are creating in this game is kind of crazy, especially with the tools on offer. And thankfully, given how user friendly the game is, it doesn't actually take you that long to fine tune each individual piece. This game isn't about goals, it's not about optimization or min maxing. It's a creative space, it's a sandbox, something you load up after a long day because it feels nice to be there. And sometimes that's exactly what you need from a game. If this sounds like your kind of game, I'd absolutely recommend it. It's more than worth the price tag. You can pick it up, put it down, come back to it like nothing happened, and just start building again. You know, we've all been in those RPGs we've picked up after a month away with no recollection of what we did or where we are, and you spend half an hour trying to figure that out. But thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this, subscribe for more.